Hi, welcome to another episode of My Daily Day. So today's topic is hate. So where do I begin? So this whole year has been a very trying year for everybody, and there's been a lot of people who have used the extra time to start hating each other, dividing each other. Whether it's something that's happened in the news, whether it's some kind of product that's been on the shelf and it's now deemed racist, whether it's political, whether it's religious. We've had a lot of time to use this anger towards what's going on in the world to start hating each other more. And right now, with it just be October tomorrow, it's getting close to that time when we start thinking about our votes. And I know a lot of people already have their mind set on who they're voting for. But this is also the worst time of the year because this is when the most hatred comes out. Oh, if you're voting for this one, you need to unfriend me. Oh, if you're voting for that one, you need to unfriend me. And I've seen this with people who have been friends for a long time, and they're willing to trade in a possible 8 years dedicated to whoever they're voting for a lifetime of friendship. They're willing to trade that, and that's really sad. I talked about in my last broadcast, my last YouTube video, that we're not all the Borg, and if you know that terminology from Star Trek, the Borg have one collective mind. So when that whatever the one thought is, they're all on the same page. That's not reality. That is not reality, folks. We're always told that we have the freedom to vote, but I never heard the term we have the freedom we have the vote to whoever we want you to vote for. Now, anybody that knows me, I'm not a political guy. I'm not into putting my faith in one person. Will I vote? Yes. But I'm not putting myself out there for who I'm voting for, and you can guess all you want. But you know what? I want someone's friendship that cares about me and not who I'm voting for or what my view is on this matter in the news and what view. You know what? We all have our own individual thoughts and our own individual minds, and we should be doing what our individuality, I'll say it, lets us do what we want to do, and not because your friend's gonna dislike you. I mean, come on. When did this world become more worried about what your friend is doing and more worried about what you're doing? How about just concentrating on you? Do your thing. But really, are you really gonna trash a lifetime of friendship with someone over someone that? And yes, it's a presidential thing because it's 8 years that you can possibly stay in office. 4 definitely, unless you get impeached, and 8 possibly. But you're willing to throw away a friendship over something that's going to be over in 8 years tops? Oh, if you're voting for this guy, you're racist. Oh, if you're voting for this guy, you're a snowflake, a liberal. My God, stop with the fucking labeling. I did a podcast recently, and we were talking about 9/11 and how things before 9/11 was so much more carefree. People didn't. Yeah, you in a way you cared about who your friends were voting for, but you didn't trash a friendship over it. You had healthy debates about things, and then you just went to after you had your debate, you went out to have a couple drinks together. Now you can't even do that anymore. Try to tell, oh yeah, you're voting for this guy. He's a racist. I can't hang out with you. You're just because you're voting for someone does not make you a racist. Does not make you a liberal. Does not make you whatever fucking terminology they wanna label you. And that's what's wrong with this world. We tend to label everybody. Label, label, label. You know who's the only one that can label me? Up there, that guy. When I get up there, he can tell me all the things I did right in the world and what I did wrong in the world. And if I go to hell, that's his choice. I won't even be upset. Because I haven't lived a perfect life. But you know what I have always been? A friend to people. I don't trash a friendship because of what religion someone is, what gender they want to claim themselves as. If they want to, you know, I have all kinds of friends, guys. I have friends from other countries. I have friends of other races. I have friends who have different sexual orientations. You know what? I love each and every one of them the same. And yes, I have friends who lately have been posting a lot of political because this is that time of year, especially presidential election years. But every time November approaches is when we get the most triggered by people. I haven't even mentioned names, but everybody obviously knows what names I'm talking about. But it's not even just that. It's the labels of Republicans and Democrats. That's labels. And if you're a so-called Republican, you have to vote all Republican or you're not a true Republican. So what if a Republican or a Democrat for that matter? If you're all Republican or you're all Democrat, and one guy in your race just doesn't fit your mold, are you forced to vote for that? I think that's stupid, honestly. The world we live in today is filled with so much one-sidedness and fighting over the stupidest shit ever. We fight over things that happen, movies that happened in the 1940s and the 1950s. Oh, that's a racist thing from. Does anybody realize we live in 2020 now? Something that happened in 1940, 1950 has no pertaining today. None. I can't believe I even have to talk about this. Are we that upset about something that happened 70 years ago? It's this whole thing about trying to erase history. Kids today need to learn about everything. They don't need to be candy coated things and say that everything from the past was great, because it wasn't. But people who are trying to erase history are pretty much doing the same thing as the people who created history. desecrating it. I know not a lot of people are going to like this one, but I've had enough of the hatred. I mean, God, I hate to sound like Rodney King, but can't we all just get along? All we are saying is give peace a chance, like John Lennon would say. Imagine all the people living as one. But in today's society, that's almost impossible. We can't live as one because we're all living as divisions. We divided everything. The media. The media is the #1 brainwashing out there going on. They show things to people to get you triggered. That's why I stopped watching the news. Because news doesn't tell you everything. It tells you what they want you to hear. It's like that old movie that Roddy Piper was in, They Live. They show you all this stuff, but what they're not showing you is how they're brainwashing you. God, I love each and every one of you guys. And it may not sound like it because I'm coming off a little harsh. I'm just sick of us dividing. No, it's just, my heart is gold, but I also wear my heart on my sleeve. And then when I go on to social media especially, but I see it in the real world too. I see people getting upset at people in markets and convenience stores and over the masks. And let's see, I got my mask right here. And guys, believe me, I hate the mask just as much as everyone else does. Hell, I was considered a rebel when I had my March fame, because I showed up in Boston without a mask. I mean, it wasn't as prominent then, but it was being suggested to wear one. But after that, you know what? I said to myself, if it's gonna make the next person feel safer, just wear it. But also, I think this is the reason that we have so much anger in this world too. And like I said, as we approach November's election, that anger is in overdrive right now. And we need to stop it. We, as a society, need to stop it. And I'm not just referring to Americans, because I see anger when I look at social media. People are posting stuff from all over the world. You know, we're only on this earth for so many years, guys. We got to keep reminding ourselves of that. I know you're probably saying no, duh. But sometimes I think we forget about that. I think we get so lost in our anger that we forget that one day we're not going to be around here. And what kind of legacy do you want to leave for yourself? Me? I want people to still talk about me when I'm gone. I want them to talk about me so loud that the generation after that's going to hear about me. Will it happen? Probably not, but you know what? We can all strive for that. But do you really want the next generation to be talking about you as always mad and always triggered, and he was always offended by things, or she was always offended by things? You may not care right now, but you know your family, your ancestors are gonna thank you for that if you leave a good legacy. They'll be able to tell stories about you without being ashamed. I just want us all to come together. Races, creeds, orientations. Let's just come together as one. Is that too much to ask for? I don't think so. On this note, much love to everybody. And please, whether it's today or tomorrow, if you see somebody that you may not agree with because of a political stance, a religious stance, an orientation stance, or whatever, just say hi to them. Whether it's you're walking outside, or even just anyone that you pass. Simple hello starts that ripple effect. Because maybe that the next person they see they'll say, hey, hello. That's the kind of world I want to live in, where we all talk, no matter our stance. Much love to y'all. This has been my daily day.